And welcome to this week's rant from the garden with a little bit of wind, but I thought I'd do it out here and not do it in the goldfish bowl or the workshop. In fact, I'm actually having a bit of a tidy up in the workshop, so I can start filming some more repair style videos. Firstly, this is not Sunday, this is Monday. It's been a bank holiday weekend in the UK, so I thought I'd film the rant that should have been filmed yesterday today, and it's actually quite fortuitous that I did film it today, because today this, and it will be up there somewhere, was posted on the Behringer Facebook page. It's really interesting actually, it hasn't hit the Behringer Instagram feed, and I couldn't see it on the Twitter feed either, so it's only been posted on the Facebook page. But I'll read the announcement. It says, the RD9 is now finally shipping. We're sorry it's taken much longer than we had anticipated, but COVID plus the current global supply chain challenges didn't make it easier. Compared with the earlier version, the RD9 has been completely redesigned, with many new features added. We're very proud of the RD9 and can't wait to hear all your feedback. We'd like to thank many of those wonderful beta testers who helped us, and then they go on to say that they have a massive backlog in the supply chain in terms of shipping, so please bear with them. So that kind of answers the question that was raised a couple of weeks ago in one of my rants, which was, will we ever see the RD9? And at that point I was kind of thinking that we wouldn't see the RD9 till the sort of back end of the year. I think probably the RD9 will be in shops to buy from the middle of June, I suspect. I've checked out the Thomann website, I've checked out Anderton's, and I've also been on to Sweetwater for those of you who live in the USA, and the RD9 is not currently listed. They probably are waiting until physical stock hits the shores, but those three sites, I know Anderton's has signed a super supplier agreement or whatever they were doing over there. Thomann is a super supplier and Sweetwater is a super supplier, so you know, they'll be the first places that this thing hits. So there we go. First piece of news for this rant is it good news or is it bad news? Let me know. Somebody commented the other day on one of the videos, I think it was. In fact, actually, was it on the Instagram feed or was it on a Reddit post? It might be a Reddit post. And they said, what is the answer? And I wrote back and said, it's meant to be rhetorical. You know, the whole idea of the video was it's meant to be rhetorical. You know, when will we see the RD9? I'm sorry, some people don't get rhetorical humour. Oh well. But the RD9 is shipping, which means that we should see it shortly. So the question now, of course, is when are we likely to see the whatever it's going to be called, the OBXA? Because that's actually one synthesizer I'm quite looking forward to seeing what it is, what price point it's going to hit the market at, and whether it really lives up to the Oberheim machine that it's cloned off of. I'm really looking for, I must admit I don't normally look forward to new synthesizers, but that actually is one I'm looking forward to taking for a test drive, especially now in the UK that we're coming through the whole COVID thing, and we can actually start going back into shops and actually playing instruments, which we haven't been able to do for a year. I mean, I haven't been into a proper music shop for over a year. Yeah, it's got to be January last year was the last time I went into a proper music shop, and here we are. So this is the 31st of May, so here we are, you know, 1 year and 5 months later, and I haven't physically been into a music shop in all that time, which is good, because I mean, obviously I'm broke anyway, so Plug Patreons, follow the channel, support the channel, Patreon, yeah. Some more video views would be really good, because that keeps the YouTube income up. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but that's the first thing. Let's try third time lucky on this segment. This is the bit where I do the channel self-promotion. So, here go the parish notices. If you like videos about synthesizers, drum machines, samplers, and anything else that I have in the stable about electronic music creation, then hit the subscribe icon. Save yourself some time, hit that bell icon as well, because you'll be notified when videos hit the channel. If you like the contents of the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm put this video in front of other people who might like it. Also helps the channel as well. Down there you should by now be seeing the TMTG community website address. Pop over there, sponsor the channel for less than the price of a cup of coffee, which I think is a real bargain. And finally, Instagram, Facebook feeds, that's where channel notices, channel shenanigans, channel postings all get posted on there if they don't hit the YouTube channel. And now back to this particular video. I don't know what it is, but when I come to start filming something like this, I get an itchy nose, or I get twitch, or I get something, and it's really, really annoying. I haven't been sneezing all day. I've just had a sneezing fit. And no, before anyone says, I haven't got COVID-19. I've just probably got, it's grass hay fever season. I used to suffer from hay fever when I was younger. So when it's quite high, I get sneezes. So that's probably what it is. But it's just one of these really annoying things. Anyway, what I thought I'd do is, here is another little tidbit, and it's just amusing and for information. But a couple of weeks ago, I did a What's in the Box video about a whole bunch of stuff that I either bought or had been sent to me as a donation to the channel. And I always am very, very grateful for people who either ring me up and say, are you interested, or I say ring me up, most people don't have my personal number, but they can contact me on Instagram, Facebook, or directly on the channel and say, are you interested in this synthesizer or that synthesizer. Sometimes they say, would you like me, I'm not using it, would you like it? Sometimes they say, well, I was kind of looking for this for it. And if it's reasonable, then quite often in the past we've done a deal and the synthesizer comes into the stable. If it's an iconic synthesizer, then it probably goes into my personal collection. If it's not an iconic synthesizer and I can't really get on with it, I make some videos about it, and then if I bought it, it's mine to do whatever I will. If it's been donated, then I ask the seller the donator what they would like me to do with it. Whether they like me to sell it and put the money into the channel's coffers, or whether they want me to return it to them, or whatever it happens to be. So, if you've got a synthesizer that you think I'd be interested in, either in terms of you want to give it to me, you want to sell it to me, or you want to loan it to me, like Richard has done with the synthesizer, the JPX8 I've got in there at the moment, and I'm going to borrow a couple of other synthesizers that I don't have, so that I can do channel videos about them. It's just, I don't know what it is at the moment, it's just really tiring at work. So come 5 o'clock and I'm just not in the mood to actually set the camera up and do videos. And this weekend, it being the long weekend, I sort of had all these grandiose plans about videos I was going to do, and we've kind of been out, the housemates and me, we've been out down the beach. Today they've all deserted me. They've gone to, I don't know what they've gone to, some aerobic-y type class, so I've been left alone and it's all nice and quiet. Anyway, I'm prattling on. I didn't intend this to be very long, but what I thought I'd do, and this will appear up here, is this was left in one of those boxes I did a video about a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, that's how I got onto this subject and went completely off at a tangent. And this was an invoice for two of the DX7 ROM cartridges. Actually, it might not have been. It might not have been in one of those boxes. It might have been one of the other boxes. I've been having a real big sort of catalogue-y type exercise over the last couple of weeks. Now I can go to storage and I can actually go into the storage and get stuff out of storage. I've been kind of sort of, you know, it's one of these things where I think I've got something, but I'm not sure where it is, and I'm not sure when I bought it. Anyway, what was really interesting was it was a DX7 ROM, so it couldn't have been those. They were CX5M, and it was really interesting because this is dated 16th of March 1993, and when you see it up there, I will have blanked out all the individuals' details, but this was sold to somebody in Formby, Liverpool, from Pro Music, Dettington Way, Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. I'm not sure whether they still exist. I might look them up on the interweb. Anyway, they sold two DX7 ROM cartridges, DX7 ROM 1 and DX7 ROM 2, and they retailed at £9.95. So basically a tenner each. Do you know what? That was an utter bargain, given that now you can't buy these things on eBay. So this is 20 years later, and you can't buy these things, or 30 years later, should I say. But you can't buy these things on eBay for much under 50 quid. So, you know, it just shows you how much they were being sold for at that point. Now, what I don't know in 1993, whether they were brand new or whether they were second hand that were being sold. But anyway, you know, £9.95 is still a bargain. And finally this week, a couple of things that didn't. I was actually hoping that there's a couple more things on the way, and I was hoping that they would have arisen. Itchy nose again. They would have arrived before today, but they haven't. So I thought I would show these. Now this one hasn't even been opened, so bear with me while the Stanley knife is used to cut the seals. I don't think this box is going to last because I think I'm just going to have to cut it like so. There you go. I remember what these are now. I've been looking for these for quite some time, and I'll tell you what they are. So if you have owned a MSX computer, on said MSX computer, don't flow away, there is actually at the bottom of it a memory slot. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and get the MSX. So I've just gone and got the Yamaha CX5M, and most people will be aware of these two cartridge slots that sit on the top here. Okay, and that's where program cartridges go in to make this thing do stuff. So game cartridges, the music cartridges, etc. They slot into these two at the top. What a lot of people are not aware of is that if you look at if you look there, it doesn't look like there's anything there. But if you pull this piece forward, it reveals another cartridge slot. And that's not what they are. Oh, isn't that interesting? What I thought they were and what they are two different things. So what I thought was coming was the memory that slots into there. What I actually have is a memory cartridge that slots into the top, and I've got two of them. So these are memory cartridges. So these are for backing up data off of this, storing programs, etc. on memory cartridges. Oh, that's really interesting. So what I thought was coming hasn't come, and I've got something different. Oh, I'm actually quite pleased about that. It's just not what I thought it was. Oh well. Should read the email, shouldn't I, really? But it's things I haven't got for this thing, so but I thought you could get cartridges that go in here, and I thought that's what was being sent. Hey-ho. So you learn something new every single day. Yeah, that's the MX5. And the final thing, and these are really interesting, if I can work out how to get into the cellophane they've been packed in. Again, well wrapped up, just like that. So I have a contact in the US who was a repair, or ran a repair shop, and he got in contact and said, would I be interested in a job lot of service manuals at a very good price? And they were a very good price. So I said yes, and he said, I'll just send you the lot. So he did. So what he sent me was that one, which is the D70. And I actually have a D70 service manual already, so that one I will probably put that on the internet for somebody to buy, so that they can do their D70 servicing. Now the thing about the D70 servicing is, and about a lot of the Roland manuals, is even though this says first edition on it, which it does, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the first print. It's the same as the first one that was printed. And I've come across this because I've gone through 2 documents in the past that are said to be first edition, only to find out that actually one document had more pages in it than the other one did. Don't ask me why, I don't know why, but they both claim to be the first edition, but actually they had more pages. And you know, the reason why I like having these documents is they have things like that in them, which are the circuit board layouts, and a push comes to a shove, if you really need to get a circuit board rebuilt from scratch, then effectively you could take that information to a PCB supplier. You can strip off the stuff using Photoshop or something, and assuming you don't reduce the dimensions of it, you can get an exact circuit done. Now I don't have the D110 service manual, so that's a good addition. Yeah, that's a really good addition. Now this is an interesting one. I don't have a JX3P. There you go, JX3P. But they are the service notes for the JX3P. Very interesting. What's the next one that's in here? Look at that. That's interesting, isn't it? I've got a JX8P which is on borrow at the moment. And here is the circuit service manual note for the JX8P. I'm going to need to talk to Richard. And the last one is that one there, which is the service notes for the JX10. Oh well. Now I don't have a JX10, I don't have a 3P, and I don't have an 8. But it's interesting that they all came through. Anyway, one of those I got. I didn't pay a lot of money for it, so I'm quite wrapped with that, because individually people are selling these for quite a lot of money. So the fact that they've come through effectively, I paid for just postage, is good. And that kind of wraps up this week's rant. So I'm going to say my obligatory greeting to leave you. Live long and prosper. Stay safe. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.